Do you like talking trades on the Cowboys Report, whether it's actual stuff that happens, ideas, theories, speculations, reports? This is your chance to chime in. Y for yes, you do. You find them fun. N for no, you do not. Go vote in the comments section. As you guessed, we're talking trades today. Bleacher Report has suggested the Cowboys trade for Jordan Hicks. Now, oftentimes the Bleacher Report ideas are half-baked at best. This one actually is probably one of their better ones. If you're looking for off-ball linebacker help that's feasible, gettable, realistic, Hicks actually is a solid name because they have Brian Asamoah and my guy Ivan Pace is balling out for them. Hicks is still a solid, although unspectacular player. I'd say probably a bit better at this stage in his NFL career compared to what Anthony Barr was when the Cowboys picked him up. He can help you. As a run stopper, he's not going to be a massive liability in coverage either. I don't think he brings you that much as a blitzer, although you're not really asking him to bring you much as a blitzer. It's probably his least impactful area, but he's still been solid for the Minnesota Vikings. And knock on wood, you're one injury away from being in a very tenuous spot at the off-ball linebacker position. You have Leighton Vander Esch. You have Damone Clark. You play three safeties, I know, but you're still giving Clark, 50-ish% of the snaps. You've got Marquise Bell, Jaron Kearse, Donovan Wilson, kind of Israel Mukuamu, Wanye Thomas, can all play in the box. But that doesn't mean they're actual true full-time linebackers, which would raise concerns if, again, knock on wood, one of those guys end up going down with an injury. Now, money, always a big factor here, right? Jordan Hicks, for the totality of the season, is due $3.5 million. Now, it's not actually $3.5 that Dallas would owe. You take that number, divide by 17 times however many games would end up being left. So let's just round and say $2 million. You can afford to take on $2 million for Jordan Hicks if you wanted to add some better off-ball linebacker depth or had to replace a starter. So there are not big names. There's no Roquan Smith available. You're not going to get Patrick Queen. Hicks actually is a viable option at the off-ball linebacker spot, especially if Minnesota keeps losing football games. So prediction time. Will the Cowboys make a trade this season, before the trade deadline, I should say? Y for yes, or 1 for yes, 0 for no. It's the pinned comment on this video. So if the ad comes here on YouTube, take advantage of it. Head down there, 1 for yes, 0 for no. Now, Fansided was kind of on one. One of the writers who I think also used to write about the Broncos had picked several different Broncos-Cowboys traders. We're not going to do all of them, just the ones that are intriguing, I think. And Javonte Williams, a very, I'm going to say surprising inclusion on this list. He was really good in 2021. He had 203 carries. It's a 4.4 clip. Added 43 catches. He can catch the football pretty decently. Then in 2022, he only plays 4 games. He gets hurt. Took him a while to recover. He was still averaging 4.3 yards before he went down. Despite his injury, he was playing well before that. Takes him a while to get back. Only averaging 3.6 yards per carry this year. That's not nearly as good, but in theory, he's going to continue to get healthier and better as the season goes on, but he's also under contract next year. A Williams RB2 would be a lot of fun for the Cowboys. Sounds like Rico Dowdle's going to be okay. Remember this part too, with all the trades you make, you have to do something to create the roster spot. And at running back, if you trade for a back, probably means, unless Dowdle's injured or gets hurt beyond what he is right now, because it seems like he's okay, that would probably mean doing something with our small king, Deuce Vaughn. Now, Williams is under contract next year. If he plays well, you wouldn't have to try to replace Pollard one-to-one. You could maybe go a cheap rate if you don't want to pay him in the end. I also don't know what the cost would be. I don't know if Denver wants to pick. It's a running back. Backs don't get traded for very much unless you're the Colts and asking for the sun, the stars, and the moon all at once for a guy you don't want to pay. I don't know what the cost would be. If Denver keeps losing, sure, why not call? See what they want. Jaleel McLaughlin's actually played pretty well for them as a UDFA. If it's cheap, the answer is always sure. I just don't know if it would end up being cheap in the end. Today's show is made possible by Rocket Money. Are subscriptions draining your wallet? The average person has around 12 paid subscriptions, and they might not remember subscribing to even half of those. If you have no idea just how much you're spending each month, then you need Rocket Money. It's this great app that tracks all of your expenses so you know exactly where your money is going. This blew my mind, but over 80% of people have subscriptions they've forgotten about. Rocket Money is a personal finance app that finds and cancels your unwanted subscriptions, monitors your spending, helps you lower your bills all in one place. Over 3 million users and counting for Rocket Money, and their customers have saved on average $720 a year. So stop wasting money on things you don't use. Cancel your unwanted subscriptions and manage your money the easy way by going to rocketmoney.com/Cowboys. That's rocketmoney.com/Cowboys. Links in the comments section and the description of today's show. Now, Fansided also put Pat Surtain in this article, which I'm sure every single person on the Cowboys fandom, or not everyone, most Cowboys fans would love to get him. It's the dream candidate, right? That doesn't mean, however, that it is a likely outcome for the Cowboys to be able to get Surtain. Their trade idea was actually the same one that we had pitched on a previous video, so we won't spend too much time on it. It's the Jalen Ramsey trade 2.0. 2 firsts and a fourth for Patrick Surtain. You're not going to get him for just 1 first. That'd be organizational mismanagement by Denver. So if you want Surtain, you got to give up at least the Ramsey trade, and Denver still might say no because, he's a very good young player at corner, and Denver loves those guys. We're not going to spend much time on Stan. We spent more time in him on this video, the Dallas Cowboys blockbuster trade. It was fun. I like doing these. They're entertaining. If you haven't already, go check it out, and make sure you're subscribed as well for more free Dallas Cowboys YouTube videos. They also pitched Courtland Sutton as a target. And this one, I actually don't like that much for a couple different reasons. The argument was, Michael Gallup is not good anymore, and Jalen Tolbert has not made an impact. I actually have been more impressed by those two guys than I have been impressed so far out of Brandon Cooks, for example. The idea was a 3rd-round pick. And I don't want to trade a 3rd-round pick because that's a premium asset to give up. Sutton is a good football player. I think he'd replace Gallup right now. But a 3rd-round pick and pay $14 million, or at least whatever's owed to him the rest of the way. Sutton is a good football player. Don't get me wrong. He offers you some good red zone size, all that stuff. Dallas isn't going to ask him. He's coming home, whatever. $14 million in a 3rd-round pick, and then have to inactive probably one of Cooks or Gallup? Doesn't make sense to me. And you say, inactive? Yeah, I do. You need Turpin on special teams. Jalen Brooks is inactive every game right now. I'm not sure who you're cutting or whatever to stash and get Sutton on this roster. So it would be a great idea if there's an injury. If somebody gets hurt, I'm in. But right now, I actually don't think it makes that much sense timing-wise for the Dallas Cowboys. So name a player who you want to go trade for. Any player, keep it somewhat realistic, but drop that player's name in the comments section.